This is the story of me singing and recording my own vocals for the very first time. In this video, I will be sharing with you my previous singing experience, some behind the scenes including some struggles that I ran into and how I recorded my vocals, and finally we'll discuss what's next for my singing career. My goal here with this video is to inspire you to conquer your fear and inspire you to do more of what you love and stop waiting. Singing has always been a passion for me. When I was a teenager, I would spend hours singing and dancing in my bedroom up until like 4 a.m. even though I had class the next morning. But I didn't really care. All I wanted to do was to sing. But if you're human too, you probably already met fear, shyness, and judgment. And all those emotions pushed me away from following my dreams at a young age. The only thing that I really did was 1 year of choir when I was about 10, and I quickly stopped because I didn't feel comfortable. So except me singing for my walls and my shower, this is all the experience that I had. But my love for music and singing was too strong. And as you know, this is what I decided to do about almost a year ago. Up until now, I didn't have to sing for my songs because I was focusing on the music production side of it. But back in August, I decided that it was time for more, like time to learn more. So I decided to add the songwriting part. But songwriting equals lyrics and lyrics equals singing. It took me such a long time to decide to go for it, but I finally did. And as I expected, I ran into a couple of troubles. First, I was so shy, wondering if anyone around the house would hear me sing. So I came up with a system that I would record only when the house would be empty. I also somehow couldn't figure out how to properly set up my microphone with my DAW. And after a couple tries and watching some YouTube videos, I managed to do something. But obviously it went wrong when I realized that I actually recorded the reverb and all the effects that I had put on my voice in the recording. So then I couldn't treat my vocals without the reverb first. Yeah, it was bad. And also, I was completely lost in technique. So many times I was completely out of breath. I didn't know how to let my voice out of my throat. And I also didn't know if I was really in rhythm, which I think sometimes I wasn't. But all those struggles allowed me to learn more about singing and recording my own vocals. But the main thing I wanted to mention is that I had so much fun. I had a blast doing that. Even though I was super scared and super shy, I could feel that deep down, I was loving it. I knew that I loved it. So my point here is that all it took was just a little bit of courage to actually get started with it. And if I can do it, I tell you, you can do it too. So because I was a total beginner and I had no idea what I was doing, I had to come up with a few tricks to get decent results. I decided to watch a few warm-up videos on YouTube to get my voice a little bit ready to sing. I also found a female cover of Lonely, the song that I was singing, just to hear it and get the tone, the key, and the vibe of it. As a beginner, I find that I have trouble to start singing on my own. So I found that by doing this, it was easier to reproduce what I was hearing. I don't know if it's a good trick, but it worked for me, and I think that's what helped me get a decent result. Then to actually record my vocals, I used a technique called vocal comping that I think every singer uses. Basically, you put on loop one part of the song, let's say the verse, and you record your vocals singing the verse sentences 4, 5, or 6 times over and over again. Once you have, let's say, 5 or 6 takes, you can go through them all and grab each part that you think is the best on each take to comp them back together and make the perfect final take. So now that I had a little introduction into singing and recording my own vocals, I want to learn more and get better at it. My goal is to be a complete artist that composes, produces, and sings for its own songs. I'm planning on taking another monthly masterclass with Stevie to get a bit more comfortable and a bit more ready. I will probably do that early next year in January, and then I'm planning on taking actual lessons with a vocal coach. I believe that it is very important to have feedback from someone that actually knows all the singing techniques to be better, so that will be my next step. If you want to hear me sing for the very first time, you can watch this video here where I am covering Lonely by Justin Bieber and Benny Blanco. But in the meantime, keep learning, and I'll see you next week for the release of my first original song, You Make Me Feel.
What if you had it all, but nobody to call? Maybe then you know me. 'Cause I've had everything, but no one's listening, and that's just fucking lonely.